happy Halloween. It is the day before Halloween. It's morning, and we're going to make peanut butter cupcakes because they kind of have the sweetness for the Halloween, the trick-or-treat season, and it's candy bar, and it kind of is like black and orange, so it's kind of the colors. So let's get started. Here are the ingredients. Okay, so we're going to start with just the cupcake part. These are the ingredients. You can get any cake mix that you want. I went with the Betty Crocker one. When I did try it, it was not so good when it was still warm. When you let it cool, it was much better. But you can use any one that you want. So for this cake mix, we're going to need 3 eggs, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, which I have over here, but I don't want to spill it, 1 cup of water, and that's it for the ingredients. But then you'll need a muffin tray. I like the mini muffins. These are the mini muffins ones just because I think it's nice to have a little bite, and if you want to have a second one, it's not a huge deal. And the cupcake liners. All right, so this part's pretty easy. We're just going to mix them all together, pour them into the container, and then letting them cool is very key, because if you put them on when the icing's hot, it just melts it and just looks gross. So let's mix them all together. Okay, so let's put in the cake mix. Very simple. Cut open the top, just plop it right in. Okay, so we've got the mix in the bowl. Now we're going to put the eggs in and the vegetable oil, and we'll mix them all together. Oh, and the water. And pour them into our cupcake tray. Now I don't have, into the liners. I don't have a mixer, so we're just going to mix by hand with a fork, which works fine. There we go. It's really coming together. Just going to keep mixing it around until all the powdery areas are not there. So it's very nice mixture. Okay, time to put the liners into the cupcake trays. Let's put them all in there. Okay, the last 2. Perfect. Now you can get different colors. Sometimes yellow is nice because they are Butterfinger cupcakes, but the white ones were the only ones available at the time. Some orange would be nice for the holidays, but white works as well. Now let's put in the batter. Okay, so for putting the batter in, I'm using a spoon. You can use whatever you want, but it does drip a lot, so just have to be kind of careful as you put it in. I try not to get it on the tray. I did have a couple of drips last time, and it seemed okay. I just feel like it will get burnt, maybe make everything smell bad, so try to get them right into the cupcake liner, although it will take a while. Try not to get the drips there. And you're going to want to fill them pretty much to the top, not so they're overflowing. See, this one will need a little bit more here. As you can see, it's definitely time consuming. It's probably the most time consuming part. All right, that's a basic idea of how filled it should be, that one in front, but I'm going to fill the rest up and I'll show you when they're all filled in. Okay, so here's kind of a good view of the cupcakes. So I left one not done to show you. Right, so we're just going to put wait till it drips and fill it up. Take about 2 of these, but sometimes I let one settle. As you can see, some of these are a little low. This one's a little low. I don't know if you could tell. So we'll put maybe not a full scoop in there, but about 1/2 scoop. This one is very low. I don't know if you can see how low down that one is. There's a lot of space. So we'll put a pretty good sized one in there. And again, you might drip a little bit here and there. Just try to kind of get that off of there. Some of these are kind of wrinkled edges. They will expand once the cupcakes are cooking. That's about it. They don't have to be perfect. But generally, if you have them filled up high, they'll have that nice kind of muffiny top, cupcake top coming out. All right, so now that we have these filled up, we're going to put them in the oven, not too long, only for 13 to 18 minutes. So I do 15 at 350 degrees. Oh, we should have had this preheating, but the oven should be preheating. And then we're going to stick these right. All right, so we have our 18 cupcakes filled, but as you can see, there is a lot of batter left. When I did this last time, I ended up with 40 mini cupcakes. So we'll just have to do another batch after that. Right now, we're going to put them in the oven, and after they're done, we'll let them cool, and we'll make the icing. But in the meantime, we're going to go to lunch. We'll come back and finish this up in a little bit. Off we go to lunch on a very nice rainy day. Very rainy. Hey, okay, we're back. Let's see how they turned out. Ooh, very nice. There's some, these could have probably been filled a little more because they're a little smaller, but these bigger ones, I have clean hands. These bigger ones, let's see, very nice. You can see kind of the little top layer there, whereas these little ones don't have that, but that's okay. That's okay too. All right, now we've got the cupcakes done. Now let's make the icing. All right, so here are the ingredients for the icing. We're gonna use 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk. We're gonna put that in once we've got everything mixed in, and we'll see what consistency we need. We need a half a cup of peanut butter, 1 full cup of powdered sugar. It's just gonna be really sweet. 1 full stick of butter, food coloring. We're going to be using the red and the yellow is all we really need for the orange. A piping bag if you want. This is optional. You don't have to put the icing in a piping bag. I have a different one that I tried earlier. We'll try that again. It wasn't really coming out well. So we'll try it with this one, which is just a round tip, as opposed to the other one is kind of a almost star-shaped tip. So that might be part of the problem. And now, the Butterfinger part. I will show you. The original recipe, we're going to use these anyway, but the original recipe calls for 6 full-size peanut butter bars, which I've done before, and shave them off. I'll show you with these. So you're just left with the orange part of the Butterfingers, and then grind them up. Well, I found these, and I tried these, and these work just as well. These are Bake Better with Butterfinger. These are Butterfinger Bites. So inside it's just already crumbled up pieces of Butterfingers. We're going to still blend them up even more, but this is a lot easier than having to shave these. We're going to still use these, but these are going to be for the top of the cupcakes. All right, let's see how we put these all together. We'll start with this. So I want to show you what the original recipe called for. You would use a full-size peanut butter, Butterfinger bar, and then scrape off with a vegetable peeler or with a knife. Comes off not terribly, right? I'm making a mess. But you would have to do that to all of them and then crunch them up. It takes a while. It takes a lot of time, so it's a lot easier using the other one. Today, we're just going to cut them up. We're going to try to cut them in half. Some crumblies will fall out, and that's fine. And then at the very end, we're going to stick it in the candy bar and put some of these crumblies over top. So that's what I'm just showing you. We're going to save that step by using the Butterfinger Bites. Let me get them out. Okay, here we have the Butterfinger Bites, so you can see what they look like. I'm just going to put them in my NutriBullet, which is really for shakes, but it works for this too. Now, when I had the bars, it took a long time to have them crush up. Here, oh, you use a whole bag, by the way. All right, here, let me see if I can pull this out. Get the other ingredients ready to go. We're just going to have to put it right here. And we're done. That's it. So much faster than the full bars. All right, let's move to the next step. Okay, let's add this in. Yeah, these came out great. I'm gonna have to scrape it out a little bit, but I think it'll be wonderful. Put these bites in the bowl. Nice. Ooh, let me actually show you. Nice consistency there. Okay, and now we're gonna add in the other ingredients. Here's what I noticed about the peanut butter. I bought peanut butter, didn't realize it was crunchy, which is not going to work. So I had to use the almond butter that I had already. Hopefully that works. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together. But okay, so I've melted down the almond butter just because it makes it a lot easier. I don't have a mixer. I used to. but I don't have a mixer right now, so it's just way easier to have it all melted down for it to be mixed together. There we go. There's the peanut butter and the Butterfingers. Same with the butter, the stick of butter. Just put it in the microwave, melted it down. Now we're going to add these two together. I'm sorry, mix it together. There we go. And mix this right up. And then we're going to add the powdered sugar. And then we can add the milk based on the consistency. I hope this works. With the almond butter, we're going to find out. It smells pretty good. The nice thing is the almond butter is a little less sweet than the peanut butter. All right, let's add in the confectionery sugar. And with this confectionery sugar, or I'm sorry, powdered sugar, is that the same thing? It makes it very, very sweet. So this might actually turn out better. Let's find out. Let me mix this up really well, and then we'll take a look when it's all mixed up. Okay, so we've got this mixed up pretty well. Let me see, there's a little bit powdered sugar on the edges, but there we go. It's pretty well mixed here. It is pretty thick though, so we're going to add, let's go with 2 tablespoons of milk. The first one. And the second one. And we'll stop there. It's a 2 to 4. Let's see how it turns out. Before I only needed 2, but that was with peanut butter. That's making a big difference already. Okay. All right, while I'm mixing this though, see how it's kind of orange, we're going to add in a little bit more orange, where we have the red and yellow food coloring dye. But yeah, use mostly yellow to start. We're going to use a good amount yellow, just because it's already, I want it to get brighter. And we need to mix the milk in here anyway, so let's see how that turns out. All right, that's not too bad. Add a little red, it might get too red. I'm only going to add a couple drops. All right, let me add a little more yellow, and then that's going to be it. That's going to be the best that we're going to get there. Ooh, I almost thought that was the red. Okay, let's add the final bit of yellow in there and see if we can get kind of a Butterfinger orange. All right, not too bad. All right, now let me get out the piping bag and we'll start putting it in there. All right, so let's fill up the piping bag. So take it out. This is how I do it. This might be the wrong way, but then going to fold over the edges. So when we're filling it, if it hits the edges, we can just pull it up at the end. And it's not all over our hands. Open it up so we can really fill in there. Use one of these or whatever you have to fill it in. Just put the icing right in there. All right. Now the cupcakes we're going to, see it's going over the edge already. Now we can just fold it up when we're done. The cupcakes that we're going to put this on are cupcakes that I actually made yesterday for the practice. So they are definitely cool. I think the ones we made today are definitely cool. Okay, that's pretty full. We're going to lift it up now. But I just wanted to make sure because that has been a problem in the past. Cupcakes are too warm, the icing will just melt, and I'm not even sure how this is going to turn out with the almond butter. But let's bring out the cupcakes and try putting it on. Okay, so here we are. We have the icing ready to go on. This, by the way, okay, so this is a round tip that I just got. I think it might be easier. This is the one I use for the cupcakes I made in the practice. It's kind of like a star. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll put that on there. It's hard for me to kind of shape that around, but if you can get it, it does look pretty. And you don't need much because they're mini ones. All right, and then I just kind of twist it. See, I'm not super satisfied with the way that looks, but let's try this other one. Let's try the new icing. And also the icing I feel like should sit for a day or so as well. Oh no. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh, it is coming out smoother. Yep, this would definitely need to sit longer. And I probably would have put more food coloring in there. As you can see the difference of the color. Maybe it did need more red. All right, we'll just put the icing around on these. This is definitely easier. If you want to use one of these, this was like $2 at the store for the single one, then I would say definitely go for the round one, even though the other one's prettier. Oh yeah, that's a lot easier. Okay, now we have the ice. Oh my God. Now we have the icing on top. Now let's bring out the Butterfingers. Okay, now we have the Butterfinger pieces out. So you're going to take the half the Butterfingers, put it in the top of that one. I'm gonna have to cut up some more halves. Sprinkle the little chunks there. We cut up a couple. Okay, that's it. Here we have them. The little Butterfinger cupcakes that should maybe look a little more orange and brown to be more Halloween-y, but hey, they're candy bars, so that's pretty Halloween-y. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like them. Happy Halloween!